How y'all doing? It's been a while. Work, life got in the way, but we're gonna do a rock review tonight, and we'll start with a little quote from Joni Mitchell. Back in 1969, Joni Mitchell, she wrote these lyrics. By the time we got to Woodstock, we were 500,000 strong. Well, when Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young recorded that song on this, in my nice little crack here, they didn't end up 500,000 strong. They ended up being 8 million strong. This album, Deja Vu, ended up being the biggest selling band of CSNY's career, the biggest selling band of biggest selling album of David Crosby's career, the biggest selling album of Stephen Stills' career, the biggest selling album of Graham Nash's career, and even the biggest selling album of Neil Young's career. So tonight on Kit's Rock Review, we're going to look at the 50th anniversary edition of Deja Vu that came out last month. But before we do that, I just want to say if you are watching this on Facebook, please like this video and follow Kit's Rock Review. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to Kit's Rock Review. And also, just so I plug the people I spun off of, Barroom Neon Project's next show is on June 19th from 6 to 9 at Iron Rock Brewery in Little Falls. The band's going to be there. Christine's Bamboo Lounge will be there. I'll be there doing a live rock review. I'm actually really excited about doing it, so I hope to see you then. June 19th, Barroom Neon Project show at Iron Rock Brewery in Little Falls. Okay, so this is the CSNY Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young 50th anniversary edition of their box set right here. And this box set here for Deja Vu is designed to look like the old album cover. And I got sort of the CD version, and I'll show you the inside. This is the inside here. There's a picture. There's the 4 CDs. And not only that, it actually came with a vinyl record. And I haven't listened to the vinyl record yet. I'm going to have to take this over. Joe from the Barroom Neon Project, he has a turntable. I'm going to have to take this over to listen to the vinyl. And also, and you got this booklet, which has a booklet looks like this. Inside the booklet is a long essay by Cameron Crowe. He wrote for Rolling Stone. He also directed the movie Almost Famous. He wrote the movie Fast Times at Ridgemont High. It says, by Cameron Crowe with Joel Bernstein. Joel Bernstein is the photographer for CSNY's Deja Vu, so he did all these he's the one that took all these pictures. So, the other thing that came with this album, and it actually came on the back of the album, when it was all wrapped in plastic. So, on the back of the album was this sheet, and I didn't want to throw it away. It sort of tells you what's on the album, what's on the vinyl, what's on each CD. So I didn't want to throw it away because it's actually not in the little book here. So on the CDs, the vinyl, which is in here, I'm not going to take it out again, and CD1 are the original album remastered. And for those of you who aren't technologically sophisticated, don't know a lot about the recording, it's just like listening to music. A remastered CD is where they take the original master tapes. When they make albums, they make them, they used to, back in the 60s, they made them on big analog tapes. And when they remaster them, they take those original master tapes, run them through a computer, and then they sort of tweak it a little bit, fix the sound up. So, the humming you'd hear on the original master tapes as they spun, they get rid of the hums. But when they first did that to CDs, the technology was so new that some of the original CDs sounded like very tinny. So now they're remastering them again, and they're the bottom end, the bass and the drums, they're bringing those back out so you can hear them more. You can actually they cleaned up the background vocals. It's nice on this. You can hear actually differentiate the background vocals between Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. You know who's singing. I wish I could play this for you, but I'm afraid of the copyright police on YouTube and Facebook. So when I compared it myself the other day, I put in my original CD, played Carry On, and then I put in the remastered CD and played Carry On, and the sound was just amazing. The difference between the two, between the remastered and the old one. I mean, I could tell the difference. It was great to hear those when they're singing, to hear some of the guitars playing in the background, to hear the bass and drums. But anyway, so you got the remastered is the first CD and the LP and the vinyl. The second CD are demos. So these are songs that the members recorded on like a little cassette tape to show the others what they were writing, to show the others what they wanted to record for the album. And there's some interesting demos of songs that didn't make the version of Deja Vu that we have. For instance, Crosby, Stills, and Nash recorded an acoustic demo of a song called How Have You Been? And when I would first listen to it, when I first put it in the CD to listen to it, I was like, this song is familiar. And I looked it up. It's actually a John Sebastian of Loving Spoonful from his first solo album. He recorded that song. And I know I'd heard it somewhere else. And I looked it up. He actually played it at Woodstock, so I probably, because I don't have a John Sebastian solo album, so I probably heard it in a documentary by Woodstock. But it's an interesting little take with the Crosby, Stills, and Nash harmony vocals. Another song they demoed but didn't record for Deja Vu originally was Song with No Words, which would later appear on Crosby's first solo album. And, you know, that's just him and Graham Nash. The song literally has no words. They're going da-da-da, da-da-da-da, but you don't want to hear me sing it, so I'll stop there. Sleep Song from Graham Nash's first solo album, Songs for Beginners, was demoed for this as well. There's a demo of Deja Vu, which, you know, obviously it's the title of the album. The song Deja Vu was demoed. It's Graham Nash and David Crosby going over it, and you're here at one point. Graham Nash goes, you know, we could put some background vocals over here, man. So it's kind of neat just having them try out the song. There's also a version of Our House. You know, Our House is very, very, very the sweetest, saccharine song on the album. But the version that I like best, the demo, is Graham Nash and Joni Mitchell just playing it, and then Graham Nash messes up and he swears halfway through the song, and Joni Mitchell laughs. And, you know, this sweet, saccharine song that everyone likes, and you hear Graham Nash say shit halfway through it. Made my day when I heard it. And finally, there's a Neil Young demo for a song called Birds, which would later appear on After the Gold Rush. But it's him and Graham Nash demoing the song, you know, trying it out. And it starts out with just, you know, Neil does his, starts out with the guitar, and Nash is like, you can hear in the background, are you sure that's in tune, Neil? And then you hear Neil, like, tune up his guitar. So it's actually kind of cool to see the early versions of the songs, and they're just trying them out and showing them to the other bands, even the songs that didn't make the album. Okay, the third CD in this box set is Outtakes. These are songs actually fully recorded, but didn't get to include on that. They didn't get to include on the original Deja Vu. And some of the songs, a couple of them, like one is called The Lee Shore by David Crosby. It's about sailing. He writes a lot of songs about sailing. CSN writes a lot of songs about sailing. But they recorded it fully for Deja Vu, and then they released it on their live album the next year later, and they never put out any of their albums. It did come out on a CSN box set in '92, but it's just interesting that they recorded it for Deja Vu, but then never, and even put a live version out, but never put it on an album. Another David Crosby solo song is called Laughing, which appeared on his first solo album, which is his reaction to George Harrison, when George Harrison told him about the going to India, and he was skeptical about following another leader. That's on there. There's a song called Horses Through a Rainstorm, which Graham Nash wrote when he was in the Hollies, and he brought it with him to CSN and CSNY, and he actually fully recorded it. But I can understand why they left that one off the album. It sounds an awful lot like a Hollies song, and it probably would have been a great Hollies song, but it just wasn't a CSN or CSNY song. A little too on the poppy side. It's a good song. I'm glad they put it on this box set for the completists, but it's just not a CSN or CSNY song. And there's one song on here, a Stephen Stills song called Ivory Tower. I wish they'd put it on the original Deja Vu album. To me, it's a great CSN song. I don't know if Neil Young's on the track or not. but it could have been and should have been on Deja Vu. And he actually tried it with his solo band called Manassas in the early 70s. And it did come out on Stephen Stills' compilation in like 2013. And on that compilation, it's called Little Miss Bright Eyes. But if you get a chance, go on whatever streaming service you like. If you don't want to buy the whole album, listen to Ivory Tower, and you will agree with me that that should have been on Deja Vu. Okay, the fourth CD in this box set is Alternate Takes. There's songs on here that actually made the original album. However, these are alternate versions, early mixes, and they decided to do something else with them. For example, there is Woodstock. The first single they released from the album, made it number 11 on the pop charts. It's a completely different vocal. I put it in and I was like, yeah, same little guitar mix, lead guitar from Neil Young. But Stephen Stills' vocals are different when he sings it. There's less urgency. I can see why they re-recorded it. It's just different. It's not bad. It's just different. But I prefer the one they recorded and released. But it's just a little different when you hear it, and it'll be like, that's neat. But I can see why they changed it. There's a version of Almost Cut My Hair. I sort of consider that my theme song, by the way, Almost Cut My Hair. An extended 10-minute jam that they recorded. Now, they released another extended 10-minute jam on their CSN box set years ago in '92. And this is a different mix, a different jam. Still great. I still love it when it was the full CSNY band, and I love it when they just. I wish they would do more of that. Of course, I wish the band would still get back together, but that's another story. Finally, another ultra mix that I really like on this is I like the version of Helpless that's in the alternate takes. It's called the harmonica version, where it's sort of introed with a harmonica. It's different than the version you released with that's just the basic band setup. And I really like it. I would have included that on Deja Vu, that version, but I'm not Neil Young, I'm not Stephen Stills, I'm not Graham Nash, and I'm definitely not David Crosby, so they didn't ask me. Of course, when the album was released 50 years ago, I was just born, so I probably wouldn't have said much anyway. Okay, so overall, what I think of the 50th, by the way, it's the 50th anniversary edition of Deja Vu, but Deja Vu came out 51 years ago, so I think it's a COVID thing. But I'd like to think that maybe there was some substance involved with CSNY and releasing it at the wrong time. Anyway, overall, I'm a fan of this box set. It's got the original album, got those demos, got those outtakes, got those alternate takes. Gonna have to take the vinyl over to Joe's house and listen to it sometime. I have two complaints, though. You know, obviously, look, I'm a big CSNY fan here. Got my Crosby, Stills, Nash Young t-shirt on. Two complaints. One is there's way too many versions of Our House. I find Our House to be the weakest song on Deja Vu. I understand why people like it. They're all happy. But to me, that's the song when I used to see CSN and CSNY. When they played that song, that's the song I made my beer on. I would go buy my t-shirts on. Everyone likes that song, and I understand it's a great song. It's a lovely song. Graham Nash wrote it because he was living with Joni Mitchell and happy, and they had two cats and the vases and all that. It's just not for me. And there are 4 versions of that on this. I do like the version where he swears, though, so that's a positive. But they could have left off at least 2 other versions. We could have had the original and the swear version. But as I said, I'm not Graham Nash. I never dated Joni Mitchell. The other complaint I have on this is there's not enough Neil Young on here. I read that there was actually supposed to be more Neil Young, but he pulled a lot, and he originally approved some of it for the band to be on here, but he pulled a lot of it because he's going to come out with an archive release, and he wants it on the archive release. It would have been nice to see what other songs he had proposed for Deja Vu that he had demoed with the band. It would be nice to see what else on After the Gold Rush or Harvest was thought of to be put on this. However, still a great set. If you're a CSNY or CSN or David Crosby or Stephen Stills or Graham Nash or Neil Young fan, I would get it. If you're just a music fan, I think they sell the remastered by itself too, but check it out on whatever streaming service you use and then make a decision to buy it. And plus, a physical album is much better than a streaming service album anyway. Okay, so if you have Deja Vu, if you bought the box set, let me know what you think about it. If you listen to it on a streaming service with the poor quality sound on the streaming service, let me know what you think about it. I'd like to know in comments, and let me know. And so, I'm just going to end with this. Remember we started with Joni Mitchell? Well, in that same song she wrote in 1969, she also wrote in that song, "We've got to get back to the garden." Right? So how are we at Kit's Rock Review going to get back to the garden? Well, we're going to keep on rocking in the free world. So until next time, I'll see you later.